Today on DNVR Buffs Live, the player that Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig is passing the keys to. And of course, we got to talk about the latest Coach Prime rumors. Let's do it right now. Let's go.
Squad.
Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota Store. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. DNVR Buffs Live. What is up?
Squad, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. Fresh pair of tires on the whip.
How's she drive now?
Real nice. Real nice.
Hell yeah.
Really gripping those roads, you know.
Whoa. Gonna need it next week. Today on the show, it's the return of Fill in the Blank. Are you excited?
Oh my God. I've been waiting for this day for so long.
This might be my first, bro. Might be my first fill in the blank.
Some new NFL draft stuff. We got a new mock draft to talk about and some rankings. CFB 26 officially announced today.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll talk about the player.
That was like presented as it was breaking news, as if there was a chance that wasn't going to happen or something.
Well, it's just official now.
Yeah, right.
The player that Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig is passing the keys to, but of course we have to start today with the latest on Coach Prime, the Dallas Cowboys, the Colorado extension. Because there's a big tweet that went out today from Ed Werder, who has covered the Cowboys for 30 years.
Ed Werder, who notably got owned by Coach Prime in the press conference.
Absolutely cooked. He tweeted today, regarding Deion Sanders, I'm being told that he would almost certainly accept if Jerry Jones offers to make him the next Cowboys head coach, that those around him are encouraging him to pursue it, and that Jones is enamored with the idea.
Now, whenever I hear a report like this, whenever I hear any report, honestly, because I've worked on this side of it, I always wonder, where do you think that came from? You guys got any
good question.
Thoughts on where you think that came from?
Jerry?
I don't think so.
Smack?
I definitely don't think so.
Then I don't know where.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
My thought is this is from the part of that tweet that says those around him are encouraging him to do so. Coming from one of the people that would be encouraging him to do so. Do I know who that is? No. But I am so confident that didn't come from Coach Prime's camp. Because I don't think that's good. I don't think that would be a good, quote unquote, leak from that side.
Mm-hmm.
That he would almost certainly take it. All that does is, of course, create unrest in the locker room.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. My guess is that came from someone has it in the comments.
Yep.
But it could be that. It could be someone else. But to me, that's the way I always process this information is where would this have come from? Who does it benefit for it to be out? Mm-hmm. And then I start to think about my reaction to it.
I just feel like the wordage is very interesting. Almost certainly would take the job if offered. Like, there are a lot of ifs and maybes just within that one sentence right there. Mm-hmm. But what we do know is that the Cowboys are moving along with their head coach search.
They got 3 interviews lined up.
They have 3 scheduled interviews already. Kellen Moore, Robert Saleh, Leslie Frazier. Very different, it seems, profiles than one Deion Sanders. Mm-hmm. So I think that's news that should be talked about just as much as the Deion Sanders, the Dallas Cowboys rumors is the fact that, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones are still moving forward with their search, and they have official interview schedule with guys. And Deion Sanders obviously isn't on that list just yet. So we'll see how this continues to rock out, though.
Yeah, man. Adam Schefter had a report today, too, because people have theorized this is a leverage play from Coach, right? And
Epic quote.
Of course. Adam gets a quote from Coach Prime and basically says, "Why would I need leverage? I'm me."
Sounds about right.
So perfect.
He's right.
But in contract negotiations, everyone loves their leverage. And remember, as we talked about yesterday, Coach Prime isn't the one negotiating his contract. No, of course, he is going to tell things to his representation that he wants in the contract. But he's not at the negotiating table trying to get leverage. And he's right. He doesn't need a lot of leverage. His leverage is very, very well documented in this situation. But my thought on this, as it relates to what you mentioned when it comes to the Cowboys going along with their coaching search, if Deion Sanders is your guy, he's your guy.
Yep.
Facts.
Like, if this was Jerry throwing the kitchen sink at Deion Sanders, I might get a little worried. But you don't go through the whole, we're going to talk to Kellen Moore, we're going to talk to this, we're going to talk to him, we're going to talk to him. Like, you zero in on Coach Prime and you say, you're our guy, much like the way that Rick George did it.
So going to say, exactly. Go back to Colorado's head coaching search. They fired Carl Durrell at the beginning of October. And we basically heard nothing about this thing until like the end of the SWAC title game, whatever it was. That's when it became like real momentum that Coach was coming to Colorado, and it went fairly quickly.
Yes.
I mean, he obviously wanted to get through that final season with Jackson State, avoid that being a distraction. Once that season ended, I mean, the Carl Reed tweet was like that night.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just, if you're trying to lure Coach Prime to come join you, I don't think you're just flirting. You're down on one knee.
No doubt. That's what it would take, I feel like. So that's interesting. That's a hell of a point.
I do know it's business as usual at the facility, though.
That much is definitely true.
And they're moving forward with the 2026 recruiting class.
Of course. And like Neely said, nothing has changed up there. In fact, the intensity has only become greater.
Yep.
Incoming transfer Joseph Williams had a tweet yesterday.
Yep.
Gonna be a special year in Boulder.
Yep.
What could have made him want to tweet that?
Right. Seemed like that was a response to something, for sure.
One of the
agree.
most prized transfers of this portal period.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tweeting that out.
Yep.
He knows something.
But someone actually made a comment in the post-show comments yesterday that they thought they were like taking a dig at us, but I thought they actually made a great point. They said, you guys are lucky you have all of this so you don't have to talk about that basketball team. I was like, hey, good point.
Man, another rough one for the Buffs.
Shout out
last
Bangad
night.
Deck, though, man.
For real.
That
Bangad
boy's balling.
Looked amazing, bro.
He really did.
What, he finished with 8 blocks?
8 blocks. He had 13 on the season coming into that game.
Yeah.
So he
Insane.
just like found something in terms of timing up blocks.
That was the third most in the Colorado game in school history.
Yep.
8 blocks in a game.
Both behind David Harrison,
Wow.
who had 10 and 11. I think he had a triple-double with blocks in one game.
Wow.
But Bangad, I mean, he's hitting threes. He's hitting the little
Pull
like,
up muddy middies?
Yes.
Yes. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really putting it all together.
The insane alley-oop and then the offensive putback slam on a missed free throw.
Yeah, dog.
That was fun to watch.
Might be a future pro, man. I remember last year during the season, multiple times, Coach Tad Boyle would go out of his way in a post-game presser and be like, I know you guys didn't see a lot of him tonight, but I'm telling you, Bangad Deck is going to be a really good player at this program. And I'll always be like, why he keep bringing up BD when he is playing, 8-10 minutes a game?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're starting to see it now. Like, that dude has almost a limitless potential for real. I mean, career high in points, career high in blocks last night. I think it's just a start for him.
And look at that. We just talked about basketball.
We did. Okay, so Cam yesterday tweeted out. He actually quote tweeted with like 7 shark emojis as usual, and then a GIF of passing the keys. The quote tweet was Tawfiq Byard.
Yeah.
Just tweeted out hashtag the standard, and then a highlight reel of him making Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig type plays.
For real.
I haven't seen keys passed around like this since we were in New York City.
But he has got to be the new shark on this defense. And it seems like Cam is passing the keys to him. There's obviously a void at safety with Cam and Shiloh moving on. But it seems like Cam and Tawfiq really have an established relationship, and there is an understanding on Tawfiq's side at this point that I'm going to be what he was to this team last year.
Hell yeah.
My question to Cam, if he is in the chat, and if not, we'll save it for the next time we talk to him, is this like what I want to know what he sees in Tawfiq Byard that
Right.
he believes that he can carry on the legacy that Cam Silmon-Craig is leaving in Colorado.
Yeah, I feel like they have a really similar game, right? That safety who really loves to play near the box, near the line of scrimmage, make plays in the run game. I mean, I believe he had 8 tackles for loss, talking about Tawfiq Byard this past season at USF, which is really good number for, a secondary player. And, I actually text Tawfiq before the show because I knew we were talking about him. I sent him that post from Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig of that gif of, kind of passing the keys. And I just asked Tawfiq, because we got something coming up here soon, just about, how cool it was to see Cam post that. And Tawfiq goes, it means a lot. It's not something I'm taking for granted. He created a standard here in Boulder, and now it's my job to keep that going. And again,
Is that journalism?
a little bit. A little bit.
Let's go.
But yeah, man, Tawfiq Byard, they, like I said, they have a similar game. And Cam, that's a great point. I would love to hear kind of Cam's thought process on, kind of what he sees in Tawfiq, because obviously he likes what he sees. And again, if Tawfiq Byard hadn't committed to Colorado, he'd probably be playing in the SEC. When he entered the transfer portal out of USF, he took a visit to LSU. He took a visit to Vanderbilt. And obviously he chose Colorado, a large reason being because of Robert Livingston. And that's something he talked to Steve Wiltfong about, just the impact that he saw Robert Livingston have on this defense here in 2024. He goes talking about Livingston here. He's an NFL guy who coached a lot of good safeties. And also talking about the staff that Coach Prime hired. They make you feel welcome and loved. And that's, again, just speaks to the culture that's kind of being built here in Boulder by Coach Prime. But I'm excited to see the new shark, potentially the baby shark, Tawfiq Byard, the little brother of an all-pro NFL safety.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of he's kind of the poster child for why you come to Colorado, right? This is a dude who has blood in the NFL.
Yeah.
And who knows what the standard is in the NFL. And so he makes the decision, I want to go to the place that holds you to an NFL standard and coaches you like an NFL player.
Most definitely.
When you're in college.
Hell
Because, I've made this comment before, but the way that IMG prepares you for college is the way that playing at Colorado prepares you for the NFL.
Yep.
And as Colorado puts more big-time players into the NFL and they have success immediately, that's going to start to become more of a trend, and people are going to start to really understand what's going on here.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Let's take our next break, or first break, and then we'll wrap that all up. Shout out to the homies over at Elevations Credit Union, with the sexiest credit card in the game, where you can directly contribute to the success of CU athletics. Elevations Credit Union donating on every single swipe to CU student athletes through NILs, 2 cents per swipe. But this card has a lot of great benefits. Head on over to buffscreditcard.com to check out all the full benefits and details. You get up to 3% cash back on CU tickets and merch with select CU merchants, 2% cash back on restaurants, gas, streaming, and phone plans, 1% cash back on daily spending. And then, of course, that little NIL bonus back to Colorado athletes. Let's go Buffs with the Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card, the only official credit card of CU Athletics, only at Elevations Credit Union. Visit buffscreditcard.com to apply and see full card benefits and details.
Shout out to Game Time, man. I was somehow like discovering some new music last night, and there's this new country artist who really like throws it back to like old school, like Alan Jackson style country. Probably not something either of you would be into, but
I don't know what any of those words just meant.
That sounds like a different language, bro.
I was like, this guy's dope, and I Googled him, and I was like, oh shit, he's playing at the Grizzly Rose next Friday. Like, I should go. And then I looked at it, and it was sold out. Boom, popped over to Game Time. They had tickets.
So crazy.
Great deals. And that's what makes Game Time great, because if you're like me and you're usually late to the party when it comes to buying tickets to an event, you got to have a backup plan. You got to go either way. And Game Time is the best because you get rewarded for procrastinating. As the prices gets lower as we get closer to the game. So shout out to our friends over at Game Time, and download the app. Use the code BUFFS and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code BUFFS for $20 off.
So real quick, just to put a bow on Tawfiq Byard here. I mean, kind of a breakout sophomore season for him. 54 total tackles, 8 TFLs, 2 sacks, 1 pick. That's as a true sophomore. As you mentioned, the NFL pedigree / bloodlines are definitely something in play, and I'm sure why he wanted to come to Colorado, because there's kind of a pipeline of that, as you mentioned. Who do you think starts next to him, though?
Can I just say one real quick thing about Byard before we go into that? I feel like he's an attitude guy, too, in terms of bringing an identity to this defense, because Robert Livingston many times called Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig the heart and soul of his defense in 2024. And if it wasn't Cam'Ron Silmon-Craig, that it was probably Nakai Hill-Green. Both of those guys are obviously elsewhere in 2025. And I feel like Tawfiq Byard is the kind of guy who can really bring the juice, kind of give this defense, a physical identity in that back end. Again, always playing around the line of scrimmage as a safety. And I just really like his fit, both, physically and, kind of mentally for this defense, learning under Robert Livingston, under Coach Prime. But we can get into who might start alongside him at safety. Who do you think, RK?
Carter. I think it'll be Carter. I thought that he represented himself well when he filled in for Shiloh last year, and I think he's only going to get bigger. I think he has a really good build for the position.
Yeah.
He's got great speed and good coverage skills. By the way, huge news just broke in the chat.
Yeah.
The guy I was talking about, his name is Zach Top.
Okay.
Went to the University of Colorado. I had no idea.
Wow.
I had no idea. They said it in the chat. I just Googled it. He did.
That's crazy.
We've been needing a country star, to rep us. I feel like a lot, like all the SEC schools have their own guy.
Right.
We want to recruit at SEC level. We need our token country singer.
Wow.
See you on the sidelines next
discovered
year.
something there. That's crazy.
He knows ball, bro.
And he's almost my age. We might be best friends.
Congrats on your new friend.
I love that for you, bro.
I'm going to say Savion Riley starts next to Tawfiq Byard. He obviously came in, as did Carter, a lot last year, but I think Savion, after Cam and Shiloh, was clearly the third option.
Not necessarily. Because Savion came in for Cam and Carter came in for Shiloh.
That's right.
I think Cam's position is like filling in for Cam is you need to be more versatile, I think, than you would filling in for Shiloh. And I think that you want to put those guys back there together because they are the best safeties that they have.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I think Carter Steinmeier is going to be – he's going to get the first look. And I feel like that's the position that'll have multiple bodies, find playing time, at that spot. Again, whether it's Carter, whether it's Savion Riley, whether it's maybe even RJ Johnson, who we saw, get a little bit of tick at certain points in 2024 after transferring in, last offseason. So I think there's some real talent there. And maybe Antonio Branch, the true freshman, finds a way to, acclimate to the college level quickly and find his way on the field as a true freshman. That wouldn't totally surprise me either, especially maybe taking over a Shiloh Sanders type role, because that boy can hit. He can come downhill. He seems to be a high IQ player as well. So if I had to pick right now, I'd agree with RK. It'd probably be Carter Stoutmire just because of all the – he has a lot of film out there, They kind of know what they're getting out of Carter Stoutmire. Savion Riley, RJ Johnson, maybe a bit more unpolished, at least at this point. But this secondary has a lot of different options to go with.
Well, and then 2 years ago, I mean, they played Jaden Milner-Jones a lot as a true freshman.
Yep.
And if you want to, kind of replicate the safety duo from last year, you're going to want a thumper, someone to fill in for Shiloh. And what we saw from Antonio Branch in high school, that guy is not afraid to come downhill and lay the wood. So I could see that too, because there's just a track record of playing young players at that position for this coaching staff.
Facts.
On to the NFL draft. Dane Brugler put out a new mock today. First overall, Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward. Your thoughts?
Good player, but in the words of Pat Shurmur, they got the second best quarterback.
Second overall, the Cleveland Browns take Abdul Carter, edge from Penn State.
I do think that he's going to surprise some people by how high he goes.
He's like a top 3, top 4 guy.
Player, in terms of,
sure.
I don't know if he goes top 2 overall, but he's probably a top 2 or 3 overall player in this draft, for sure.
I think that people are getting a little bit blinded by seeing a player on Penn State wearing number 11.
Number 11 playing that position.
Yeah.
I think that's true too.
That actually is the first time I even really made that connection.
Okay, all right.
Number 3, the New York Giants select Travis Hunter.
Interesting.
Over Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. I mean, how do you resist Travis? But also, how do you resist Shedeur if you need a quarterback?
No way if Cam or Shedeur is on the board still at 3, the Giants don't take one of them, in my opinion.
Neighbors and Travis would be an unreal duo.
Generational. That'd be crazy, dog.
It would.
And
how's Gardner Minshew going to look throwing to them?
Kirk Cousins?
Sam Darnold?
Imagine being Travis Hunter. You spend your whole college career with Shedeur Sanders, and you got to play with one of those goons.
Well, I mean, honestly, whoever Travis
That's the
is going
price
to be,
you pay going at this part of the draft, though.
Travis, whoever he catches passes from, probably is going to be a large, significant step down from Shedeur as a passer.
Yes.
But
Number 4, Patriots select Tedero and McMillan. Number 5, the Jags select Will Johnson.
Ted at 4th overall?
For who?
New England.
Wow.
Kind of makes sense. Just because they feel like they have their quarterback and they have 0 weapons.
Yep.
And Travis is gone.
Number 5, Will Johnson to Jacksonville. Number 6, the Las Vegas Raiders select Shedeur Sanders.
There's no way he falls to 6, in my opinion.
I don't think so
It's
either.
a dream scenario for the Raiders.
Exactly.
But I don't think that happens.
And a nightmare scenario for us.
Pretty much. For shits and giggles, the Broncos take Ashton Genty at number 20.
Awesome.
Yep. I agree.
I've got nothing against Ashton Genty. Some of those weird potato boys might have an issue with, but Ashton Genty is dope.
Did you see the theory that obviously with Kellen Moore getting a scheduled interview with the Cowboys for their head coaching vacancy, he's a Boise State guy. Mm-hmm. They take Genty, the Cowboys. I can see that a lot.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fit for them.
I mean, Brugler literally says, should Genty fall this far? Of course not. But if Dallas decides to pass, there aren't many more obvious landing spots for him in the top 18. So Brugler actually did 2 rounds, and we'll get to this when we do fill in the blank. No other Colorado players.
In the top 64?
Are you surprised by that?
I'm not.
Not necessarily. I think there are guys who could jump up there, but I don't think there's anyone you can say is a guaranteed first or second round pick.
Yeah.
Yep. On the ESPN side of things, the whole draft crew got together. Mel Kiper, Matt Miller, Jordan Reed, Field Yates. Did
Bill
some
Yates, friend of the program.
Yep, friend of the program.
Shadowfield.
They did like a consensus top 10 board where they all put in their top 10s. Travis, number 1 on everyone's board except for Matt Miller. He's number 2. Abdul Carter.
Oh, come.
Matt Miller's got Abdul Carter as his best player.
Yep.
And people were after me in the comments for saying that the Penn State. I'm not saying he's not good. I don't think he's a top 3 pick.
When it comes to the quarterbacks, Mel Kiper, he has been very consistent on this. Still has Shedeur number 1, Cam Ward 2.
Ball knower.
That's what it is.
He is the only one of the 4 to put Shedeur at 1. Everyone else has Cam Ward at 1.
Wow.
Like I said, this industry is built on movement. Shedeur will go to the front at some point. Maybe it's after the Shrine game. Maybe it's after the Combine. The stories that come out of the Combine when Shedeur gets to go do meetings and get on the board are going to just really make the haters mad.
Yep.
Because it's going to say, like, it's going to be like, I spoke to an NFL executive who met with Shedeur Sanders last night and said his board work was as good as some other guy, like Peyton Manning or something coming out. There's going to be some crazy story that comes out from the Combine that people are like, oh my God, really?
What do y'all envision as Cam Ward's NFL potential at this point? Maybe a comp if you have one.
He's like Tony Romo-ish to me. He runs around a lot. He extends the plays, but it's not necessarily across the line of scrimmage.
Way to go cross-race comp.
I like that a lot.
And
It's rare.
And he has the tendency to throw the dreaded death pick that ends the game.
I can't think of one. What do you see?
I can't think of a comp either, but
Romo
I will
is pretty
say
good. Not gonna lie.
that is a really good one. I might just
Thank
go with
you.
that one and give Jakey the credit moving forward. But I will say that something that I saw pop up recently, and when I saw Cam obviously in New York for the Heisman as well, his build kind of surprised me a bit in terms of like he really has kind of a quarterback, NFL quarterback build, like the body that kind of seems like it's meant to take hits and take punishment and survive the pitfalls of a full NFL season. So I think that could work in his favor as well. Especially again when you're taking a quarterback that high in the draft, the health part kind of has to come into it at some point. So I can see that maybe being a reason why Cam Ward, especially when guys are so close, that maybe Cam Ward might be the number one guy for some of these draft analysts. But that was something that again, seeing him on TV, you don't really see. But again, seeing him in person, you're like, I can see why NFL front offices like that part of his build and makeup.
I'm not sure if that was in reference, but I think a couple people in the chat took the Tony Romo comp as a bad thing. I think
No,
that's a good thing.
so do I.
I think
He was a really good NFL quarterback.
put up big time numbers. He didn't win the big games, but I don't think that's what you're thinking of when you're making the comp.
Yeah.
Right. I was just thinking purely play style.
Yeah.
Their wide receiver rankings, every single one of them, all 4 of them, number 1, Travis Hunter.
But I thought that he was a completely undeserving winner of the Biletnikoff Award.
So this morning I was on with Ed Valentine of Big Blue View, one of the major Giants kind of podcasts and news outlets out there in New York, and Ed kind of posed me the question of Travis in the NFL. He was saying that he looks at him as like 100% snaps on defense and maybe 50% on offense. And I told Ed, I'm like, that sounds cool, but I know Travis going to want to play 100% of the game, 100% of both ways. And if that's what he wants to do, y'all got to let him do that. At least try it to see what it looks like at the NFL level. And say maybe halfway through the year he's dealing with injuries here and there. Maybe you assess after that point. But out the gate, especially, and we were talking about, the lens of maybe him going to the Giants where they don't select a quarterback. And I'm like, if you draft Travis Hunter and you don't utilize him on offense, that's malpractice, especially if you don't have maybe an explosive quarterback that you believe in. I just can't imagine a team, a franchise drafting Travis Hunter, him being on your sideline while your offense is out there going three and out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have a generational talent on your sideline. And you're like, no, we're just gonna use him at corner. That would just be the craziest thing to do to me. You gotta let him do both and see where it goes from there.
I just know what it feels like from my perspective when I'm in the stands and Travis Hunter isn't on the field.
Yes. What are we doing here?
So unsettling.
Yep.
And so whatever team he goes to, they're going to learn that. Because watch what happens when Travis is out there and gets a big pass breakup on third down, and you guys get the ball back, and then he stands on the sidelines as you go 3 and out.
Yep.
Not only
crazy.
watch what happens from the fans, but watch what happens from Travis.
Yeah.
Because he's going to crash out.
For real. Swear.
I do think that there's going to be some sort of, I don't know. I think that the coaching staff that he lands with, I think there's a very good chance that they're going to say, like, let us build up to it. Let's not start there.
I hear that.
You know, like, let's give you a chance to adjust to the speed of the NFL and all that. And we'll work our way up there and get closer as you show you can handle it.
I can just already
see that.
see the training camp reports from Ian Rappaport going, what Travis Hunter is doing in these practices is literally unbelievable, and people cannot believe their eyes.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a chance that, like, because Coach Prime basically told Travis, like, you're gonna play so many snaps in the game that you don't have to practice the first half of the week. Do you think he gets that treatment as a rookie in the NFL?
He's different. He should. I don't know if he will. He should.
Yeah,
He should. He should.
it's gonna also come down to the coach and the respect that they have in the locker room.
Yes.
Because if the coach is respected, then I think that the players will trust. If the coach is not, then I feel like the players are gonna be like, this rookie is getting days off before me. I've been in this league for 12 years. You know.
They're on a bad team.
Is there any coach that Travis could possibly go to that you think has that cachet though? Brian Callahan,
No.
our guy in Cleveland, Stefanski, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, 2-time NFL Coach of the
Right.
Year.
Dable. I like Dable more
I
than
respect
others.
Dable. Yep.
So, and then, New England, Vrabel might have that in New England. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not right away, but maybe he does because he was a
Yeah.
player there and whatnot. Who knows?
So I think there's a couple.
Let's take our next break and let RK tell the people about his Toyota.
Just love it.
Tell them how they saved
honestly,
us.
you always say everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the people were tired of my old Toyota reason. We needed something new to talk about. I didn't even know about Toyota roadside assistance until yesterday. And we got a flat on the highway. I don't know why people don't believe this, but like,
It's ridiculous. I learned yesterday I don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
That's insane.
they were kind
I
of cookie
actually-
y'all in the comments.
I've seen so let me just tell you about Jake and his tire changing abilities. He got a flat in the parking lot at CU. I was like, hey, we had 2 cars. I was like, we'll pop over to Moe's. I'll get your bagel order. By the time you finish this, we'll have it. We'll head back. Before we even ordered, bro was in line,
Wow.
ready to go. So he could change
Easy.
the tire quick.
I think I changed it on Sunday in like 10 minutes.
But anyways, I'm certainly not putting my back to the highway to change my tire just to prove my manhood. So I hit up Toyota Roadside Assistance, and they were there in, I don't know what, 35 minutes?
If that.
Yeah, to come help us out. Got the spare on there, got us on our way. So shout out to Toyota. A new Toyota feature just unlocked.
That's what's up.
So shout out to our friends over at Toyota and the Front Range Toyota stores. Those, of course, are AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota, Boulder Grove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, of course, is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. What?
Shout out
Crew.
Bro, that's probably what he was doing. We're like, we'll leave. He's like, I'm going to do a little F1 simulator here.
They literally do that shit in like 30 seconds,
my
bro.
He's like spinning the fucking.
Shout out to Circle K. The homies on the road, man. Wherever you're headed, even if it's down the street, across the country, road trip, maybe you're following a football team to all their road games, whatever it is. Circle K is your one-stop shop for literally everything. Snacks, food, drinks, and of course, gas. Make sure you sign up for the Inner Circle. It's a free membership. Super easy to download too. All you need is your email and phone number. Download the app and sign up for exclusive offers, including Your first 5 fill-ups on gas, 25 cents off a gallon. Every 5th item free on multiple things in store, drinks, Polar Pops, rollers, all that good stuff. New offers, purchase clubs, and sweepstakes are uploaded weekly. Shout out to the homies at Circle K.
Squad.
Real quick, back to the draft rankings here for cornerback. Only 2 out of the 4, Jordan Reed and Field Yates, have Travis Hunter even listed at cornerback. Jordan Reed has him at 1. Field Yates has him at 2. Miller and Kuiper don't even have him listed. And I think that Kuiper is probably just like, yeah, he's like the best receiver I've seen in a minute.
Yeah. What about corner?
I mean, he's fantastic. He's great there too. But I think Mel Kiper sees it a little how I see it. It's like, this guy's so dynamic at wide receiver. Like, that's where I would play him.
That's where I would play him too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. We've gone over this a million times, but you can't allow the other team to dictate how involved in the game Travis Hunter can be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only let him play defense, they get to choose if Travis Hunter gets to play that day.
That's true.
Fair enough. They all got Will Johnson. Is that consensus? CB1?
Yeah, except for Jordan Reed, who has Travis at 1. He has Will Johnson at 2. The only Colorado players listed on this entire thing. You guys ready? You excited?
Yes.
I'm juiced up, bro.
Fill in
No
the blank.
cap.
Here we go. I got 6 of them for y'all.
Ooh.
Which one's first?
6. Dang, you're in your bag.
If you could change one rule / thing about college football, it would be blank.
Go ahead, Scotty.
That's crazy. If I could change one rule / thing
The old repeat the question slowly to buy some time.
about college
I'll go
football.
first.
All right, yeah, Jake, you had time to think about this.
Right.
We just need a commissioner. We need
Oh.
someone to come in and just like make the rules. Like say, this is how it's going to be in the transfer portal. Make it uniform across the conferences. I think these are all like sub things I would change. Mm-hmm. But conferences need to be uniform, I think. The amount of conference games should not differ between the SEC and the Big 12. It's just stupid.
Yep.
You're already just giving the Big 12 a disadvantage going into any discussions with the playoff committee. We are figuring out this playoff thing, but the commissioner needs to kind of come in and get a handle on what it means to be selected or what it takes to be selected in the top 12.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I would say uniformity, and that's obviously a wide-ranging answer. But James Franklin talked about this recently. At least at the Power 4 level, every Power 4 team should play the same amount of conference games. Every Power 4 team should play a conference championship game in terms of their conferences, and that should just be uniform. Like there shouldn't be one conference plays 8 conference games, another conference plays 9. It should be all uniform across at least Power 4. And again, that would help when we get to the end of the year when we're trying to decide who should be in the college football playoff. And again, that uniformity I think would help and would go a long way in improving kind of the level of play at college football, in my opinion.
I think I'm eliminating FBS versus FCS games.
I like that.
And I think I might even eliminate Power 4 versus G5 games. Sorry,
Yeah.
Colorado State. No more Super Bowl for you.
Relegation? I'm all about it.
But I want to start with eliminating FCS games, and everyone says, okay, well, then that's going to kill those programs because they get the money for those games. How about we just create like a shared fund? Everyone takes that money that they would have paid those teams anyway and just puts it into a pot. It goes, trickles down to the FCS schools to make sure that they, are able to stay afloat so that this rule doesn't kill them. But we got to stop this. And at the first part of this rule, if we can't get it all passed at once, is you absolutely positively cannot play an FCS school after week 3.
Yeah.
I'll build on it. You should only be able to play an FCS school for your spring game.
Oh, there's another one. Give me one scrimmage.
Yeah, exhibition type.
Yes, you're allowed to have one exhibition game before
That'd
the
be dope.
season starts.
That'd be dope.
And then maybe that's how we get money to the FCS schools.
Yeah, sure. Broadcast it. Who wouldn't want to watch a college
Facts.
football game in
In
April
middle
or
of
March?
spring, yeah.
Or at least allow the closed door scrimmages like they do in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we just made the whole sport better in 3 minutes.
A lot of people are mentioning the Joel Klatt thing, and that's kind of where I got this from.
What
too.
did Joel say?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole segment, but the one part I do want to talk about is the transfer portal, and it's kind of what we talked about earlier in the week with the changing the transfer portal window and potentially eliminating the spring window. And I think that, I kind of said that you need to. It needs to be its own period. You can't have it going on with bowl games, with signing day, with the playoff. Like, you can't have this at the same time. If you want to make it one spring window, fine. But also with that, transferring needs to be like a decision, like a big decision. It can't just be, oh, I don't like this coach, I'm out of here. Or like, oh, I just don't like the way that we're calling plays this year, I'm out. Transferring needs to be a big decision that you make. And you should only get one free one.
I would maybe be okay with two free ones. And then obviously, contingent ones if your coach leaves or those sort of things.
Yeah.
But unlimited is a little bit wild.
It is. It's ridiculous.
And I just don't know if all of these 18 to 22-year-old kids have are mature enough to use that responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit more sensitive to the transfer portal and how many times you can do it, because when I hear you say that, Jake, like, I don't like how the coach is calling plays this year. To me, in some circumstances, if that's how you feel, that should warrant you feeling like you need to transfer.
You get a free one. Go ahead then.
What if you don't like it the next time?
Well, bummer.
I feel like
crazy.
you only get 5 years to play college football.
Yeah.
To make it what you want it to be. And again, things change in recruiting. Somebody might be recruiting you and you might think, damn, this coach is dope, man. This guy is going to help me, reach all my goals. And as soon as you sign on that dotted line and you get there and you're really there, you might realize that coach is not how he was during my recruiting. This is a completely different guy. And me being here is not the best place for me. And you might have to come to that realization twice. It might take you your third school to be like, this is home. This is where I should have been all along. And I feel like we shouldn't, take away kids' ability to do that. I understand that it has been taken advantage of. It's going to be taken advantage of here moving forward. But again, I'm a bit more on the player autonomy side. And I kind of like where it's headed in terms of the autonomy with the transfers.
We did college football for decades without having this issue.
We might have missed out on some great players who
Sure.
never got to shine, though.
Sure.
I don't think it can be only one. I think there's too many extenuated circumstances.
Facts.
But I think a limit isn't the worst thing. And then, like I said, there are other, you could apply, whatever.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, there should be waivers, if you get hurt or,
No doubt.
if your coach leaves, there should be these qualifiers, but just having it just wide open and just.
The fact that you can commit to a school, sign with a school, and transfer a couple weeks later is crazy.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
The thing I don't like is what the quarterback did from Cal and Oregon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's BS. You shouldn't be able to do that as a true freshman before you even take a college class.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like if you've been to a school a year and you've been around college football a little bit as a player, I feel like you should have that autonomy to make decisions what's best for you. And again, to think about favoritism. I've seen it in sports. It happens. You're in a position where somebody is being favored and they're on the field maybe when everybody knows that they shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Why should you have to stay in that situation? But it's all gray area and
Next
it all
one.
is one by one.
This one's an easier question. Colorado average blank rushing yards in 2025.
What do we average this year?
Dead last in
Well,
the
buddy.
conference was 60 something.
65.2, dead last in the country.
Holy smokes.
Midline is 67. In that range, it's about 160 rushing yards a game. The top team was Army, averaging 300.
I'm going to say Colorado averages 133 rushing yards per game.
That would put them 92nd this last year.
We got to go higher than that. 143.
That hardly moves them up. They're at 84 now.
But in terms of the Big 12, you said 143, that number you just said? That'd put them literally like 10th in the Big 12.
All right. I'll stick with it.
I
feel like I'm probably still low.
I'll say the 167 mark. They at least reach the halfway point of rushing teams in the country, especially with Caden Salter.
Okay. That's just crazy. Like, I feel like my perspective on this is so warped. Like 144 feels like a lot.
Oklahoma State this year with Ollie Gordon, again, it was some extenuating circumstances. That was a weird season.
What,
but
they
averaged
ass? That was the extenuating circumstance.
I was just talking about specifically the run game and having an NFL caliber running back. But 111 for Oklahoma State this year. So,
Wow.
I mean,
They didn't even have a quarterback.
Right. I would say if I had to guess, I mean, I'm just going to say they double it, right? I'm just going to say 130.
Okay.
They go from 65 to 130.
Next one. To go with the headline, blank will be Colorado's leading tackler in 2025. Last year,
Give me Martavius French.
the leading tackler was Cam, 94, but Nakai, of course, did not play the first 2 games, had 82. Then it's Shiloh, DJ.
Cam didn't play the first game for what it's worth.
That is true. Cam did not play the first game as well. Then it's Shiloh, DJ, Bent, Carter, Travis.
Yeah. Give me Martavius French.
I think I'm taking Tawfiq Byard.
Okay.
I'm taking Tawfiq Byard as well.
All right.
All right.
Shark 2.0.
Next one. The 2025 quarterback competition will go on until you can give me a game, a time frame.
This 2025 quarterback competition will go on until 2026.
The whole year then.
I don't think that it's going to be settled. I think that they're both going to contribute throughout the season.
I'm going to say that it goes on until the lead up till week 1. I can see a situation where Caden gets named the starter leading into week 1 against Georgia Tech, and he continues to play well.
I think it goes on until October, until at least the end of the non-conference slate.
Well, and when I say that, I mean there probably will be some sort of announcement or depth chart or whatever. But I do think that both guys are going to play throughout the season.
I agree with that too. Next one. The returning player who will elevate their level of play this season is blank.
Oh, the most?
Yeah?
Okay, I was going to say, the list, I could just start rattling guys off here.
Well, yeah, of course, but you have to pick one.
Returning player who will elevate their level of play the most this year is Omarion Miller.
I like that one.
Michael Welch.
I was going to pick Michael Welsh.
You guys there's 2 peas in a pod over there. You can get the couch back over here.
Michael Welsh is going to turn into a bell cow back for the Buffs and will be a large reason why they rush the ball much better this next season.
Yeah, one of my predictions on 25 predictions for 2025 was that Michael Welch becomes one of the best running backs in the Big 12 in a conference full of really good backs. He's going to stand above.
It really sucks that I was last to put in my predictions because you guys took a lot of good ones.
You still did well, man.
Thanks.
I
You
like
did do
this a
well.
lot, for real.
And you honestly might have had the best one with your last one.
Facts. Perfect mic drop on that.
Enough is enough.
Last one, fill in the blank. The first Buff drafted in April after Shedeur and Travis will be blank.
Come on now.
All right.
Come on now. Y'all know LeJontay Wester going to be the 3rd Buffalo drafted in 2025. And you know he going to make some offense, some quarterback at the next level much, much better.
I think you're right. Jake?
It's him or Jimmy, and I'm going to give it to Jimmy because I think he's going to go run a 4.2 something at the combine, and that just always gets drafted.
Yeah.
See you in Vegas, Jimmy.
That's fill in the blank.
BJ Green's a good answer, too.
Yeah.
CFB 26. Who's the cover athlete?
Travis Hunter. They do the right thing and get that loser Edwards off there and that loser Quinn Ewers off there. They put that man on the cover. He's not even the best player at his position on his team. On both of those guys.
So disrespectful.
We had RB2 and QB2 on with Travis Hunter, the Heisman winner. Nasty work.
Crazy work.
Is there a feature that you can think of right now that you really want in the new game?
I want an NIL budget.
Hell yeah.
And the more you win and the more people that come to your games and all that, your NIL budget goes up.
Yep.
They got to fix the transfer portal. I hate that.
It's so bad.
There's only like 4 guys who are interested in you.
It's terrible. We have
and,
record numbers of players entering the portal, and there's like 200 guys in the portal every
and
offseason.
half of them already are like down to their top 3, and you have no shot.
You know who they need to put on the cover though?
What?
They need to throw that boy. Damn, I just forgot his name that fast.
Give me a description of him.
Team, come on, position.
He just transferred to Miami to play quarterback.
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, and they need to put him and Shorty on the cover. That'd be hilarious.
And Hannah Cavender.
Yes.
Or Haley, I don't remember which one.
One of them.
I think Jeremiah Smith is going to be on the cover in some form or fashion.
Do you think they
Williams would
stay
be
with
good
the
one.
multi after
Probably.
failing miserably with their choices this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see them go back to like the OG, like white background, one guy making a pose type of thing, but I think this is what we're going to get again.
I told him Hayes Fawcett before the show. He said kind of the same 3 guys like last year: Arch Manning, Ryan Williams.
If Arch Manning is on there before he's ever started a game, or I think
That's
he did
crazy.
start a couple, but you're probably right.
He probably will end up on there though. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean he has the highest profile,
right.
NIL like value is really high. So Arch Manning, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams.
Yeah,
That's
those
what he
3.
said.
I can see that. That'll be a good one.
All right, that's a really good call.
I want them to fix the transfer portal, and I want there needs to be like history stuff. Like if I have a 30-year dynasty with a coach, why do I not have like historical stats of what I've done, like in my time?
I think there is that.
Not super in depth. Like it keeps track of your wins.
Yeah, and like your record against rivals and top 25.
Yeah.
I want more swag for the coaches.
What's the deal with that? We get a polo and a long sleeve shirt for the coaches.
Unbelievable. Give me like I don't even care.
Can't even
if
get a
you
visor.
I don't even care if you upsell me on the Coach Prime pack. I can get a hat, a cowboy hat, a gold whistle.
That would be hard.
Also, make recruiting more in depth. Make it so you can flip players.
Yeah,
Like, why is
with
that
your
not in-
NIL budget.
Yeah. All right, let's get to questions and super chats. Scotty, what part of Chicago are you from? Q was asking.
South side of the city, Ashburn neighborhood, near 79th. Yeah, if you know Q, you know. Squad.
King Mars is asking for, I believe, the basketball team's
9-6
record. I think so. 9-7 now.
9-7.
0-5 in Big 12
They are on
play.
a 5-game losing streak.
Yes, since they started Big 12 play.
Yep.
Honestly, a lot of the games have been close. They just
Yeah.
really don't have anyone that they can just say, it's crunch time, help us.
Yep.
And that's really tough.
Yep.
It is.
KJ and Cody, I think, played against each other last night, though.
Yeah,
Jersey
saw the
swallow
Jersey
was
swallow.
dope.
MLN asks, do we know what's happening with the running back room beyond Tommy Robinson assistant coach promotion? Stay tuned.
We do.
We do.
Facts.
Ivan, what rounds do we predict other NFL buff prospects land? J5, LeJontay, Cam. Colorado's going to be a big day 3 team. So round 4 through 7, I think.
Yeah.
Love it. Those boys are going to ball.
Yep, they got some gems. Michael's asking, is Julian a running quarterback? I would not call him a running quarterback.
Very similar to Shedeur in that regard.
Yep. Thoughts on Matt McChesney interviewing with CU?
Did he?
I don't know. He just was there.
I I told you before the show, I listened to his recent this morning. I believe he was on with JB and Schmitty, and he was saying that he met with Coach Prime for 90 minutes yesterday.
Okay.
And that's kind of, I mean, he kind of went in depth of what they talked about as well, but I don't know if that's officially an interview, but he said he met with Coach Prime for 90 minutes.
What did he say they
yesterday?
talked about?
Just the direction of the program and the future, and employment is also what he said.
Nice.
They talk about employment. So yeah, go check that out on their page.
Great for Matt, man.
Yep. We have one more. Big T's in the house. Do you think being in 2 position meetings and learning 2 position installs each week will be a factor and not getting 3 days off each week?
This is in reference to Travis.
Travis, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think being in 2 position meetings and learning 2 positions installs will be a factor? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think he's trying to reference like his playing time in the NFL.
And how hard it will be to play both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if you are smart, you figure it out with Travis Hunter. And yeah, you just figure it out. Just figure it out.
I don't think him learning installs and knowing what to do on the field would be an issue.
No, not at all.
His football IQ, his football acumen is low-key 1 of 1. So that won't be an issue. Him knowing what to do when he's out there on the field on either side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Tis it.
Caden Salter just tweeted.
You say it's going to be a big year in Boulder.
Kind of. He said, we woke up today, we're blessed. # SCO.
Period.
Let's go. Facts.
What a blessing. I was telling Jake also before the show on the newest well-off. Bucky had some shots in there of Caden just throwing the ball around with, some of the receivers on the team in the facility.
Yep.
Already getting some work in. We love to see it.
I love it, man. A lot more.
My
to
last
come.
show of the week.
One
Where
more
are you
show.
going?
Oh yeah, he's going on his bachelor party.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. All right,
Going
facts.
on the bachelor
Chief.
party. Going on the bachelor golf trip.
When,
gonna be-
Are you back Monday?
Debaucherous. No, I'm back Tuesday because Monday is national championship.
Ah.
So we're staying through.
Nice. Well, we'll
And
definitely
Martin
talk.
Luther King Day.
It is.
Facts.
We'll definitely talk national title probably tomorrow and Monday. But yeah, hit the like button on the way out. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.